Swami Vivekananda means many things to many people. Some of them can see him as a monk, some of them can see him as a great nationalist. But Swamiji's ideas have touched many different spheres of human development. Now, Vivekananda talks in one place about building nerves of iron and muscles of steel. And in another place, he talks about how we have all indulged in lifelong learning. He speaks about how strength is, about a constant expansion, a constant growth that we need to have from the inside. Vivekananda also talks in several locations about how human progress can happen only when we focus both on the development of external nature and also looking within ourselves on the internal nature. In another space, when he talks about India and the future for India, he talks about how India needs a scientific temperament. He calls upon his brother monks, the sannyasins, to carry a magic lantern, as projectors were called in those days, go from village to village and meet young people and infuse in them a scientific temperament. And he said that's how progress can happen. Now, when you look at all the different thoughts of Vivekananda, including his most powerful quote on education being not just information that runs riot in your brain, but should focus on building character. He talks about man making and character building in a wholesome understanding of it. He lays stress on the physical growth. He talks about education. He also talks about how we need to evolve ourselves emotionally. And he says all this has to be to discover our true self, our inner self, and that's spirituality for him. But more importantly, Swami Vivekananda was that brilliant intellectual with an enormous compassion for humanity, where his constant thinking was for the masses and the amelioration of the misery of the masses, as he called it. And he was one who knew that this could be attained only when the youth of the country, the young people of today, somehow are able to see personal growth in public service. And he was the one who, in a masterful way of expressing it, spoke about Atmano Mokshartham Jagat Hitayacha. He said, my personal evolution cannot be selfishly just my evolution, but has to manifest externally as an expression of societal good. And we at the Swami Vivekananda Youth Movement, who derive all a foundational understanding of human development from Swamiji's message, understand that human capital has to be in constant expression, constant expansion of capabilities in the physical, in the cognitive, emotional and spiritual domains. These ideas are a direct interpretation of Swamiji and his message. He just doesn't stop here. Vivekananda also looked at an organization being stronger than just individuals. He looked at the power of social connect and networks, and that is where our appreciation of social capital comes in. And we know that if you have to inspire a generation of young people to build a resurgent India, it cannot be just asking them to come out and serve. It has to be by coining this understanding in a way in which they can appreciate it better. And so we believe that ensuring that we can create a role model for ensuring private gains. Private gains doesn't just have to be fiscal. It doesn't just have to be monetary. It can be my own personal learning. It could be my own appreciation of my inner self, my spiritual growth. And this private gain coupled with public good. And this brilliant message of Swami Vivekananda is what we in the Vivekananda Youth Movement are trying to live every day. And today, being the birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda, we hope that this message will continue to inspire us to do what we are doing in a pursuit of building a resurgent India.